Yeah, we went to Perry's. It was actually, that shit was banging. I got short rib. Nat got like this sushi platter. It was banging.
Perry's is good, man. They have a nice outdoor area too. We just hung out at family's house, but there were some fireworks and all the cousins were at the end of the night. It was just cousins were in their element, bro.
Yeah, you made it to 3. What were you drinking?
Nothing. I had a couple of glasses of Black Label and then just a couple of beers. But for the most part, I was just keeping an eye over my dog and covering her ears, man, as I could.
Yeah, no, it was a good night. Happy New Year. We walked down 18th, just for shits and giggles. There was a girl outside. We walked past, bro. Oh my gosh, she's in this little dress, so it's all gold. It's cold out. The bouncer is like, yeah, so cover's $125, blah blah. It's like, $125 for a cover? It's not. This is just like a place on 18th. It's like, you got to be kidding me. It was I don't remember the name of it. Whatever. But $125? You got to be kidding me. I don't know if it's just because she was not fully dressed and they're like, we can get her because it was cold. She was all chilly.
Oh man, it was cold actually.
Running amok out here.
$125 is insane to me.
Yeah.
I would never pay that.
Yeah.
I don't even care. I would never pay that.
Unless it's like an open bar situation, which I doubt it is. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad we both had good nights, dude, because during the day, it was not a chill New Year's Eve.
Oh, why is that? What happened?
I was not having a good time, man.
What happened yesterday, Keon?
I haven't felt that much misery watching an Arsenal game in a long time, bro. Let me tell you that.
That was a sad one. But I guess we saw this coming. Did we not?
I think we did. So, roll the music. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another District Gooner Pod. Steven, what episode is this?
25. The big one.
Quarter century, I think some people call it.
They call it the quarter century. Howdy, everybody. Happy New Year. Hope your, what do they call it? Your resolutions are written intact still. Couple days. Well, we'll probably get this on the 2nd, so hopefully it's intact on January 2nd.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully the squad is writing some serious resolutions down as well. Before we really get into it, I do want to thank everyone for a great 2023. You know, we launched this podcast last year. And thanks for listening. Thanks for being with us. Hope you're enjoying the conversation. Hope you're enjoying the sound improvements. That's for sure.
Fair.
And
still learning on the pod, but we appreciate it. This was I think one of our highlights of 2023, huh? Getting this thing started.
For sure, dude. For sure. One of the biggest highlights. It was really fun, and the music's evolved as well. I mean, I think we do have one of the coldest outros in the game, bro. So if you agree, make sure at the end of this episode you scroll all the way to the bottom and rate the show. Leave a review as well. So, but hey, let's jump into the game, to some of the reactions. Obviously, last game of the year away at Fulham, Arsenal, 2-1 loss. I think a lot of talking points, a lot of emotion coming out of the fan base post-match, as predicted by my co-host. So why don't we? I guess the best place to start is just the lineup, dude. What was your reaction to that?
Great place to start. I liked it, actually. I really did like it. We've been kind of in the mud the last few games. A change was needed, right? A change is warranted. think the last episode we had some changes that we thought we'd see. Wasn't what we thought it would be, which is no problem, but he did make changes. So that means they are aware that there are problems, right? So Kiwior at left back. Was it actually an injury? Was Zinchenko on the bench yesterday? I actually don't know.
He wasn't in the squad, dude. And I'm reading that he's had some scans now to see how serious it is. You never know with these things. How much of it is ego? How much of it is injury? I really don't know, bro. But I do hope he's okay. He's a very important player, as we saw going forward.
We can touch on that later. That would be a shame if he's out. But then the other change, Eddie Nketiah in directly straight swap for Jesus. Didn't see that one coming, personally. But again, hey, if that's what the manager thinks we need, I'm with it. I'll ride with it. Changes were needed. It was just the two, and then Kai slotted back in at the left 8. Didn't shine yesterday like I was hoping he would. But yeah, I think the changes were needed. I mean, I think you're on the same page with that, yeah?
Changes were needed. I agree. Obviously not what was expected, but I tell you what, when I saw the lineup, kind of how I saw it was it's the last game before the transfer window, and the manager is just trying to maybe get a final gut check for, do I need a striker? It's like, go on, Eddie. Like, that man played 96 minutes, bro. Well, played is generous. He was on the pitch for 96 minutes, bro. But that's how I saw it. I saw it as a manager getting a gut check. How much can I trust these players? Who can I really trust? Kiwi, or is he up to the standard? Obviously, left back doesn't look like he's up to the standard, dude. But those two in particular, I just think those two are on the selling block. And it was a gut check for the manager. Last game of December, before the transfer window. Let's see it. I also think that's why Reece Nelson came on, because I think he's also on the selling block. Because, I mean, Smith Rowe had a great game against West Ham, the 15 minutes that he played. So he doesn't even come on. Is that just because you trust him enough to say, I don't need a gut check from you at this game? We can talk a little bit more about that one. But that's how I saw the lineup personally.
Okay. I like that. I think that's a good view of it. I think we are having a gut check. We have to. It's not good enough, right? I think we're realizing it's just not good enough. Defense is the one place I think we really had enough reserves in. Those are depleted now. If Zinchenko's hurt, we're in a world of trouble. But we need a gut check. And I'll say this. I was happy about the changes because we're seeing something's not right. So we mixed the changes. But ultimately, those changes didn't work. I will say that as well. I even though you see it and you make the changes, it didn't work out on the field. Like you're saying, Eddie did not have a great game. I'm surprised he made it the full 96. I really am. I thought he was going to get pulled a lot earlier. That halftime substitution from Kiwior needed. I think that was absolutely needed. He did not have a great showing. A little shaky. But Eddie did not have a great game either. I think that the proof might be in the pudding on that one, man.
I think so too. And I mean, let's chat about the game. Obviously, Arsenal get an early goal, right? And I felt very good when that happened. I think everyone felt very good. That's the early goal we want. First 5 minutes, we get it. But then to talk about Kiwior's performance, I have no idea for the equalizer why he lets the ball run across from him and he tries to clear it with his left foot. I mean, that's a right foot clearance. I mean, you see Big Gabby doing that, but Big Gabby's got levels on you, young man. So I have no idea. That's just really poor play. I did think in the first 5 minutes, Kiwi started out strong. He was much more inverted. It seemed like he understood the assignment. But the whole first half, he wasn't closing the player down fast enough. He was like afraid to go out wide a little bit to maybe get done up. I mean, you've mentioned that this player plays within his limits a lot of time. And then he was just giving passes away, dude, with not a lot of pressure. So really, really poor performance from him. I'm not convinced that he's a long-term Arsenal man.
This was not a good game for him. It really wasn't. This he could have put his flag down, right? I'm here. Zinchenko's on the ropes. He's had a tough couple weeks. Manager finally looks your way. This is your moment. They don't come around that often. Ask Reese Nelson. They don't come around. Ask Smith Rowe. They don't come around very often. You got your moment, and you didn't live up to it, man. Was the spotlight too bright? I don't know. Like you said, I think the first couple minutes, you could tell he was up for it. He looked solid, but he was getting a lot of help. Nelly was really tracking back for him. Gabriel's really shading towards him. So that, obviously, maybe that says something if the players around you are looking to cover you like that. But as the half wore on, he just started giving silly balls away. We have here, he made that one mistake where Martinelli had it come back and win the ball off of him, off the attacker. It's like the 27th minute. It was all downhill.
Oh, was it
all downhill?
Yeah, it was a straight pass, dude. Yeah.
Kind of all downhill from there. The first goal though, the one highlight we did have, that was a good goal. No, our goal. We're trying to get Martinelli involved. We've been hard on him, I think, the last couple of weeks. That was classic Martinelli. Route 1 stuff, right? Straight out the back, counterattack. What's interesting about this, and I'll see what you think about it. It's the one time we kind of get up in transition, right? Things are open. We are able to get in a shot. Boom, rebound. And then how did Fulham score on us? Oh, in transition. They were able to open things up. I think you talked about this last time. Is it a system thing? Is that possibly an issue? After this game, do you still have the same thought?
Look, we scored a goal. It's actually interesting. I was watching the highlights back, the NBC highlights, because when I was watching the game, I felt like we were getting smoked. I felt like after we scored, I mean, there was a period between like the 15th minute and the 30th until they scored. Like, we just could not get any momentum, dude. But we are very predictable. I stand by that. I think it's very, very predictable. And 20 games in, it's been figured out. The plans are the blueprint is there now, it feels like. And I also wasn't very happy with Sideways Rice, bro. I mean, at times I just feel like he's now turning into a third center back. Like, he's just a third center back in the middle of the pitch, getting the ball and passing it sideways, playing it a little too safe. I was surprised by that, but I think the build-up is too slow. It's too predictable, and it doesn't help when I looked up top and Eddie just kept circling their center back. He just kept circling their center back, dude. So I'm not sure how much of it is a system. I mean, we are missing 6 players, right? 5 of them I feel like they're key players. And I don't want to use injuries as an excuse, but I do feel like attack is too predictable. And even that goal, it looked like Saka was going to hit it over, bro. I wasn't sure that was going in.
He put that bad boy in. That thing limped over the line.
But that speaks to the confidence of the attackers themselves. Like, they are so self-aware now, and now the fan base is getting on their back a lot more. So these games are very pressured games, and this squad has a tendency to lose 2 under pressure, lose 3 under pressure. So hopefully, I mean, there's a lot of work to do. Yeah. That's for sure, man, in the weeks to come.
I'm going to give you credit on this one. I think you called this one. It is too slow. You've been saying this during the holiday run. It is too slow. It really annoys me when, their first goal, that was a great goal, right? Counterattack. I think they had us on a 4v3. Great ball in from the left. It really similar to that West Ham goal. That's a clean goal. It looks great. And then we get the goal where it limps over the line. You know, where are our clean goals? Where are our clean looks at? It's very predictable. I watched the video this morning, and shout out to whoever actually posted it. I can't give credit because I didn't write it down, but it's a lot of those looks into Rice, into Odegaard, into Havertz, a couple of our center backs, and it's like they receive the ball, and it looks like there's 2 options forward, or an option forward, but they have to basically squeeze it through a hole, and we never take it. Take another Take another touch and either swing it out wide or play it back. And it seems like we aren't willing to make those passes anymore. we're scared. Like, it's like we're scared, or that's part of the game plan. I don't know. But sometimes I think you just have to play it through the lines. You really do. You can't just progress all the way out wide and then come through. Those passes through the middle, that's how we were so crucial last year. I feel like those are our money passes. You get in Odegaard, let them spin, and we're running. We're running at people. It's too slow, too predictable. We're not getting clear chances. How many block shots are happening? It's not clear enough. We need clear chances at this point because we're having trouble scoring.
Yeah, no, the chances aren't clear, man. And like the chance creation, well, I guess when they are, we're hitting it at the goalkeeper or we're missing the goal. I mean, like Martinelli just can't buy a goal, right? That's why you wrote in the doc, man. He can't buy a goal. I mean, he just keeps missing it wide, just wide every time. Is it too perfect, Nelly? Like, what's going on, man? So it's just in those moments. I mean, Saka had that volley. I'm shocked. Like, is no one telling him he has time?
Yeah, that one was bad, man. You got to get that on target. That was, I mean, his reaction, he hated that. But whew, if I was him, I'd be mad no one was yelling at me. But also, he's mad at himself for missing.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of chances like that. We are getting, when we do get the half chances, when we do get the clear chances, going back to the last pod, the quality of the execution is just not there. And
so jumping into halftime, I kind of thought we were still in the game. It's 1-1. I thought we still had some decent chances. Like you said, it was much more open than I expected. Fulham had their chances as well. There was that period of time when we could not get any control. But in halftime, what were your thoughts? Did you think we were still going to come back? Did you think there was some halftime subs that needed to come on to change things around?
So I wanted Eddie off at half. I also wanted Kiwi off at half. One of those did happen. I wasn't too worried about losing the game. I felt like we're going to come out flying. It's going to be all right. But then the second half started. And it was just more of the same, man.
Yeah. It was the second half, I think, was worse. We went so flat. There was no energy there. Absolutely no energy. Tommy comes on. Love it. I think that's a good move. I'm glad he's back. Eddie Nketiah, I'll say it again. I can't believe he played the full game. I don't know. I wonder what happens behind the scenes. What's happening in training that we don't know? Is this guy just murking in training? He's at Colney just putting in goals left and right? Because I don't see it. I just don't see it. And we've backed him for so long. But, man, it's becoming tough to back him when you go into a game like this and you don't see anything. It's Fulham. I need you to perform, man. Like, I need something. I need to see a spark. I didn't see it.
When Tommy came on, I did feel like there was a difference in level between him and Kiwi. But on Eddie, I think that was his worst game that I've watched in an Arsenal shirt. There's nothing wrong with saying that. He just wasn't up for it, man. And this is the thing. Like, does he know that he's about to get a move in January? Like, does he? I mean, he hasn't played that much in the last 5, 6, 10 games, man. So to your point, the opportunity doesn't come that often, and you just got 96 minutes, and I just watched you circle around. When he wasn't circling their center backs, he wasn't making a lot of runs in behind. The one run that he did make in behind, he was offside anyway, and he missed a shot wide. And then when he was checking to the ball, he wasn't getting the ball. His touches weren't there. At least Jesus creates. He's at least very active, and he can get the ball turned and link up with players. I didn't see any link up play from him, and there was a couple where Rice passed it to him. So this is the other thing, I guess. When Rice did make the through the line pass, and he couldn't handle it. He got beat to the ball. And I do have to give credit to their center back. Their center back number 3, when the game started, after like the first 10 minutes, I realized he had a very good game against us in the first time around, and he had a very good game again. His physical is big, and you know, big center backs not good, man, not good, not good enough.
Yeah, I think he got a red against his last game, but he was up for it. I did like the way that guy played. He was up for it. I don't want to keep going on about Eddie. I'm just surprised he gets the amount of chances that he does for us. So, like you said, maybe come January we'll get a final decision on him. Who knows? But in the second half, flat. Fans were doing their part. I heard our fans plenty of times throughout the game. Didn't seem to be helping, man. Really flat. To me, Odegaard was our best player, attacking-wise. I think he, almost like the West Ham game, felt like he really tried to drag us through. He was our shining moments player. Saka didn't do too well, I didn't think. Martinelli missed wide a couple times again. I thought Odegaard was probably our best player. Had that free kick. That wasn't very good. Our first corner in the 79th minute. Woof. That's not good. We're becoming
this guy Trossard again, dude, on the corner. Are you kidding me? I'm so tired of seeing this, bro. I don't want Trossard taking any more corners, man.
Well. I'm over that. Like, I don't know what's going on. Can't let him. If he can't even get it into the front post, right? Like, why are you letting him take him? Get somebody else on the ball.
He had a terrible showing. I thought, like, him and Jesus subbed on, right? And right when they subbed on, the first 5 minutes, they were trash. Like, I mean, they were. You make subs and you want them to uplift the mood, like inject some energy. We're more used to, subs coming on and having like a 5-minute cameo and then maybe like flittering out. But this was just, they came on. It looked like they weren't even really excited about playing. Trossard couldn't even like touch the ball that much. When he did, he hit it at the first man. So it just, I don't know what's going on, man. That's not good enough from Trossard. And this is the thing. 2 of our oldest players, right? Trossard and Jesus. Like, you're supposed to have the decision making that we've talked about. There was one chance Jesus got in the corner of the 18th near the end of the game. He tried to dribble the guy and he just got stuck. It's like, stop it, dude.
Just like the West Ham game, man. I know what you're talking about. You're like, dang, I saw this movie last week. I don't want to watch it again. So we have our notes from the game. Let me read this one section. It's a couple bullet points. And I think it really summarizes basically the second half. So this is right around the 71st minute. So it started raining. So we're saying it's absolutely pouring. Ball is slowed down, but it doesn't matter because we are slow to begin with. Eddie, move, dude. A lot of standing. This is pretty disappointing. First corner in the 79th minute. Wow, that was shit. That's kind of the summary. And then the next bullet point is big chance, big Gabby. Glad our number 9 doesn't gamble. That was the moment.
Oh, that was a cross? Yeah. It was a good cross following the corner. Yes.
Trossard whipped it in. You have Jesus, you have Eddie, and you have big Gabby going in for that ball. Gabriel was the closest. He just couldn't get his head on it. That's kind of, to me, that summarizes our game. Those bullet points we put there, just a disappointing result, disappointing performance. I don't mind losing. It happens during a season. But when your team looks flat, I think that's the disappointing part.
Did we use all of our energy to get a point at Anfield? That's what it feels like, dude. That feels like they hyped up that game for themselves. They got caught up in the media narrative. And because, they were so excited after getting that point on the socials, the players. So following that, 2 losses on the bounce. And I have to give credit to the manager. Like, he came out after the game. He was very honest in his post-match interview. He just simply said, not good enough, didn't deserve to win, worst performance of the season.
And I agree with that. And I'd like that you come out and say it. I'm all about, protecting your players and stuff. But I think as a collective, it wasn't good enough. I think from the top down.
Yeah, and he usually takes the blame, right? That's kind of his motto. He usually takes the blame. And I think I don't know how much blame there is to play Sunday manager. I've seen people, like I said on the last pod, they've already started calling for his head, man. So, I mean, if 20 games in and now you feel like it's all over and the manager's not good enough, then you have no right to be singing his name and backing the team 5 games in saying we're title contenders. You just don't, man.
Let them know.
You just
Let
don't.
Let them know.
So
that is completely fair. Let them know. Looking at the table here, so we're 2 points behind Liverpool, and they have a game in hand. We're even with City. They have a game in hand. We're 2 points behind behind Villa. So we're still in the hunt. We're still in the hunt, and it is very apparent that things need to change, right? That's where I see like the brightness of it, like of our current situation. We're still sitting well on the table. And everybody knows something needs to change. So this is where your manager earns his money, right? And I think he's a good person to have at the helm. Hopefully he got something cooking, and we can either make a personnel change, we can make system change, play more daring balls, whatever it is. I think they got something cooking.
Yeah, hopefully they do. And to your point, it's really not the end of the world. I just don't see. And no. I think maybe fans are so scared about the years of 100 points needed to win the title. I don't think this is one of those seasons, man. I think maybe with 85, maybe with 82, you can wrap this one up. This is a very, very competitive league. It's unlike the leagues that we've had in the past decade.
Yeah, and we would like to talk about basketball. It's a game of runs. It's in a typical, basketball game. It's a game of runs. I think this is a season of runs at this point. What can you put together? How many wins can you string together? I think we're capable of it. I think City's obviously capable of it. We've seen them do it, but I think we're capable of that. Hopefully we get some folks back. Thomas Partey, you see that news about him today. He's not going to be going with Ghana to the AFCON. At least that's what it said this morning. Whether he actually does or not, who knows? I don't want to have to rely on a player like him, but it's not the worst news if he somehow can join our team again. But I think this is going to be an interesting January, man.
Absolutely. And I'm not even sure what that means. Like, does that mean that he's healthy and he's not going with the team? Does that mean he still needs like 2 more months and he's not going? Because they sound like it was a very serious injury. So does that mean that he's not back until March? Or does that mean, he's not going to AFCON because he missed half of your season, so he's going to actually play for you in January? I'm not sure if it's the latter.
Bingo. Absolutely bingo. You can't trust him. You just can't trust him. So bingo, you hit that one right on the head.
You can't. This is the part. It's like, all right, I get it. Like, City are getting Kevin De Bruyne back, right? And we're getting, and that guy can just play so many games, and we're just getting our glass cases back. Like they can just be broken so quickly again. I'm not convinced of how much I can rely on the help that's hopefully coming.
This is Arsenal, though. We knew what this was.
Yeah, the heritage is there. That's fair, dude. A player I do want to talk about, dude, is Emil Smith-Rowe. I feel like as a club you have a problem if the person who wears number 10 isn't on the pitch. If the person who wears number 10 doesn't even come on as a sub. What's going on here? You're disrespecting the number 10 shirt, first of all. And second of all, did you see Martinelli didn't give him a high five? That little clip that's going around?
I did not see that.
Oh, dude, I'll send it to you if I can find it. He, like, when he gets subbed off, Smith-Rowe reaches out to him for like a whatever, man. Like, you did all right, and he doesn't dab him, and it's one of those things where I'm not sure what's going on there. I really want him to play more. It's our number 10. I want to see the number 10 on the pitch, dude. That's just the bottom line.
Let me go a long way about framing a question for you. So I think I've said this to you in the past, and this is kind of my view about Mikel sometimes. it's really hard to like prove yourself to him, and it's hard to get yourself in the lineup. So you think about the season where Smith Rowe scored a ton of goals. He's playing all the time, right? Because we had no one else there. He earns his position. Boom, scores a ton of goals for us. And ever since, he can't seem to work his way back in. Do you think it's a Smith Rowe thing? Do you think Smith Rowe just isn't doing enough? Do you think in training he's just not there? Or do you think it's just Mikel kind of being stubborn? I don't see this as a game. Like, why wouldn't he play? Why would you not put him in? Recently, we're having this tough run. Why not give him a shot? Why not inject something into the team? Do you think it's a Smith Rowe or like a Arteta thing?
Yeah, so first of all, I sent the video to you. Watch that. Second, there's three pieces to it. I think the manager, stubbornness, the lack of playing time from Smith Rowe, maybe just a lack of full confidence in what's his best position. Where can I get the most out of him right now with this squad? But I also wonder, is it just an injury protection thing that we're just really playing we really cannot afford to lose him to injury. So is it a protection? I think the protection part is a big deal. I do think that they want him to succeed at the club, and they are protecting him, his health. But also, you're a professional footballer. Like, you gotta play, and injuries happen. So
it's a fine line, right? You want to protect him, but what's the point of protecting someone that you're never going to put on the field? We've had the opportunity to sell him as well, and we didn't do it. So why are you keeping him?
That's my other point about it. I think going back to my thoughts on the lineup and getting a gut check for players, maybe he's the one player where he is sure when he finds form, I can rely on him. He can be a good 12th man off the bench, right? He can get on the score sheet. He will work hard. But also, I think when you're facing adversity, when you have games like this is when you find out a lot about the true nature of the players, right? This is why it hurts to see the performance from Eddie, because this is when we are suffering, how much is the player willing to dig in and put out for the team? So I think that's one of the tests is, Nelson, 20 minutes to go. Can I rely on you as someone who really changes things, or do I need you to start walking?
Gotcha.
That's another way that I see it.
I just watched the video. It is kind of interesting. I think it's more about Smith Rowe's reaction than him not getting a high five. I think the way he reacts, like, interesting. But I like your point there. It's kind of interesting that we have the 3 academy kids. That to me makes it tough. That's who's coming off the bench for us. Got Eddie, Reece, Smith Rowe. That's who we really have right now, other than Trossard. Trossard, I think, has proven that he can play, he can start. But those 3 guys coming off the bench, to be honest with you, I'm not excited to see any of them really come on. They haven't shown me anything yet. Have they gotten? And I don't think they've gotten the opportunities. Eddie is the one that has, right? Eddie has. I think we kind of know what he is. But those other 2, I don't know. I haven't seen Smith Rowe play in a good Arsenal team, a solid Arsenal team. I haven't seen it. So I don't know what he really looks like.
That's true. And if I could just go back to finding out a lot about your players in the face of adversity, it's easy for everyone to look good when things are rosy and we just keep winning, right? This was the first game where I saw our center back and our center defensive mid have a little bit of a talking. Did you see Declan Rice and Big Gabby have some exchanges? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, there is some personalities now that are starting to come out on the pitch. Now that we're suffering a lot more, there's a little bit of barking happening. And I'm very interested in seeing how the team reacts to all of this. And also, it was interesting when they were barking, guess who just walked away? David Raya. Just let them bark at each other. Didn't give a damn, dude. So
why do we have to bring up the keeper, man? Come on.
No, we have to bring up the keeper, Steven, because I brought
episode.
I brought some receipts, bro. Have you seen this?
Is it about the he hasn't kept a clean sheet in a while?
He hasn't kept a clean sheet, period, for Arsenal in the Premier League when the opposition has had more than one shot. And he's not giving me big glue vibes. Like, Ramsdale, he seems like a traditional goalkeeper that's like, come on, guys. Like, he's really, like, behind the people. You know, he's one of those loud goalkeepers. David Raya is not a really loud goalkeeper. So that is one thing that I think we are missing when we don't have Ramsdale in. And also some of his spectacular saves. David Raya did make a couple of good saves. I don't want to be too hard on him. But I'm still not convinced, mate. I'm just not convinced.
Hey, that's fine. It's the difference, right? I think you lose qualities in Ramsdale when Raya plays, or you gain. They both have their qualities that you gain and you lose when each of them comes in, and that's definitely a Ramsdale thing, 100%. I think that was a big reason why it's so hard to not see him in there, is because he's a team guy. He's like an Arsenal guy. He's brought us through the mud. He's there to G players up when they do something good. He's there to also talk that mess when he feels like the defense isn't performing well enough in front of him. Hey, I think that's something maybe you lose with Ryan. I don't know if he's that guy to be that goalkeeper that's going to be hollering at folks. And that's what Big Gabby's there for. Just like Saliba's not going to be the guy yelling. It's going to be Big Gabby. That's just who he is. So you gain some stuff, you lose some stuff.
You do. And also, dude, I'm worried about our height, man. I'm starting to get really worried about our height, the way we're setting up. It looks like set pieces are now a little bit of an issue, right?
That goes both ways, though, no? Because we score a lot. It's like, why can't we defend them?
But that's the other thing. We haven't been scoring a lot, right? Like, we just keep hitting the first man. So we're just having not a good run on set pieces. And we're one of those teams who do rely on getting goals from elsewhere because it's not clicking offensively at times. But we get bailed out. I think this is another game, though, I have to be honest with you, where the defense just doesn't get bailed out. And that hurts. That hurt. Yeah, this is a footballing pod, dude. We like the goalkeepers. We like the defenders, and they're not getting bailed out by their teammates. And maybe that's why Big Gabby is so frustrated, and he's barking at his center defensive mid.
Yes,
you know.
What do you mean bailing him out? Matt Turner. We watched that United game. Yeah, made a big mistake. Goal against him. His team bailed him out. Not like the rest of his game was. He had a decent game, good game, maybe even. You could even say he had a good game, but that one huge mistake. Right? He got bailed out because his team performed. And I think they were happy for him at the end of it. Like, we got you. Yeah, our defense hasn't gotten much love this year, man. Our defense has been bailing out our attackers. Right? Because we've lost 2 on the bounces. Anyone talk? It's all about our offense. That's all the talk's been about, to be honest. Hasn't been about our defense. It's all about our offense. So it would be nice if we can bail them out. It sucks to me when you get these goals like Fulham, West Ham had one too. Just real scrappy goals. It's like we could get those on our end, great, but just didn't defend it perfectly. Ball just kind of squirts in. That's a tough one to take. Really tough one to take when you can't get anything across the line.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of pinball goals scored on us, man, and that's not fun. The ball's just not bouncing our way. Sometimes it happens, man. So it's a negative game, dude. That's why you can't be so hard on each other, because the guy knows that, I took a terrible touch. Like, it's a negative game, dude. We'll see. Anything else you want to talk about? Obviously, we missed Zinchenko, but I think that's just clear. We missed him offensively. That's it.
Oh, yeah. If we had him, I think it would have looked a little bit better for sure. Live by the sword, die by the sword. to say he would have done anything worse defensively than what we saw. No. But hopefully Tomiyasu's back, man. I know he's going to be gone for the Asian Cup, but this season, he's that guy. He's that guy for us.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, the next game won't be in the Premier League. That's going to be on like the 21st of January. But the next game will be in the FA Cup in the third round against Liverpool at the Emirates. Home game. After 2 losses like this, the mood has soured. We talked about this. I'm just going to be watching for the atmosphere at the Emirates. Let's see what it's like. An early goal if we concede. Do we just lose that game? It's we got a little accustomed to those late comebacks, but I'm not feeling the comebacks these days. Like, we have to show out, dude. We need to win games like 3-0 these days.
Yeah, let's see what the changes are. It's next Sunday, so it's only a week away. I just think there's going to be changes, man. I just do. So we'll see. I'd love to win. We play them again in the league on the 4th of February, so just a month away. That's the league game at home, of course. Play Liverpool again. Break is needed. I'm also glad the break is here. Let's keep cooking. Maybe we need to smoke some stuff a little bit longer. It's in the works. I don't feel terrible about this. I don't like losing a game where your team doesn't look up for it. Just like that West Ham game, not the league game, but the one in the cup that we lost. The team just wasn't up for it.
Yes, that's very similar.
Up for it, and that leaves a sour taste in your mouth. The West Ham league game, we were up for it. We created chances, just didn't happen. This Fulham game, we did not look up for it. Looked flat. That's disappointing.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll tell you what, man. The one thing I want to see in the FA Cup game, I want to see our number 10 on the pitch. You figure out what position you play him in. That's my notes to the manager. You figure out what position you want to play him in, but I want to see the number 10 shirt on the pitch.
I love that shout. I think it's time. Release the Kraken, as they say. It's time. Get him on the field. Let's see what he got. You think you hit it on the head. It's like, you don't play him because you don't want to risk him for injury. Other side of the coin. Why keep a player in your squad that doesn't play any games? Let's see him. I want to see it. He's wearing the number 10 for a reason, right? And he got the number 10 shirt under this manager. Did he not?
Yes.
So I think he knows his qualities as well. So I think I love the shout. We'll see you next Sunday, Emil Smith Rowe.
Yes, we will. All right, man. Well, January 1. Maybe this will drop today, but wherever you listen to it, whenever you listen to it, hope you're happy, hope you're healthy, and hope you're sticking to your resolutions.
Happy New Year and be easy.